Most young men today find it hard to transition into adulthood. They struggle to leave those childish habits behind and learn new habits that make them into the men they want to be. But the ironic thing is, they fear staying weak, while almost accepting weakness as one of their characteristics. They do not care to change, or even put in the effort to change. Do not let yourself become one of these men. Instead, once you find a habit, see it through to the end. Find your weakness and do not accept it like a coward. Find what it is you have to stop and what it is you have to do. If you understand this, here are 4 habits that turn a boy into a man. Number 1. Not allowing video games to become your life. Most games today link back to reality. They link back to the lives of others, from an athlete to a soldier or even a criminal. One can explore them all. It is good to understand how others see the world, but a man can't spend hours leveling up his online traits as if it is actually him inside the game. As a man, it is natural for you to want to be the best at anything you do. It is the warrior in you that wants to compete and conquer. But the downside is, it distracts you from what you could be doing in your life. As your character improves in the game, your character in life will worsen. Not only that, but being rewarded for such little effort in a game stops you from fighting for things that take time. If it takes you a couple of months to master a game, know that it will take years to master life. Real life is a concept of delaying gratification. It may take you years to start seeing results, but no matter how hard the mission is, you eventually figure out how to overcome it, just like you did in a game. As a man, you have to build your attributes and qualities. Instead of putting all that energy into a video game, it must be used for your own life. There is no purpose in slaving away at a game that will expire in a few years. But yet again, this generation of men has no meaning in their lives. They have so many distractions blocking them from achieving success while pretending they need it. You see, overall, gaming is a cop-out for achieving tangible success. It gives a man a feeling of accomplishment, but the only thing being accomplished is in a digital world, not reality. Instead of wasting that time on games, learn what it truly means to be a man. Find your purpose and build up from it. It might be hard, but who cares? The reward is much more worth pursuing than a dopamine hit on a video game. Build something that will not be forgotten in a matter of years, but something that will last. Playing video games rarely becomes the best move on the chessboard. So convert that energy into support for the life you have to live, because no one else will do it for you. Number 2. Delay your gratification. Most men nowadays have everything on the tip of their fingers without ever putting in a sweat. They get rewarded for something that they did not work hard for. A big example of this is self-gratification, the act of pleasing oneself without doing anything to earn it. Every living creature wants to gratify themselves. It is a normal part of survival. When a man feels hungry, he will search for food. When a man is thirsty, he will search for water. There are pleasure sensors in your brain so that you feel satisfied with meeting those needs. Even procreation was designed to be pleasurable. So when a man seeks fulfillment, it is not wrong, but normal. It only becomes abnormal when you cross the line. When a man repeatedly gives in to urges of watching X-rated films, he loses the ability to delay gratification. His brain becomes more and more focused on the things he finds pleasurable, and the discipline of delayed gratification falls to the side. It is no coincidence that the men hooked to their urges underachieve in all areas of their lives. And this is why it is important to fight your urges and develop delayed gratification, as it is one of the best ways for a man to destroy his competition. There is a certain sense of superiority and confidence that a man gains with the realization that he has more control than the average man over his primal desires. In the same way, how specific skills differentiate a man from another. The ability to delay your gratification to a later date puts you ahead of everyone. It is an ability that separates a general from a soldier. Pleasure is generally a reward that a man must earn. This is the only way you should look at it. Number 3. Fall in love with learning. The average man always wants to be entertained. He lives on what he feels like doing, hovering in the present, and not giving a thought about tomorrow. However, the superior man is interested in learning things he didn't know yesterday. He knows that the present has to be put to some use, or else the future will not be rewarding. He understands that he must sacrifice his present to learn and gain experience for his future. And luckily for you, the society we now live in does not require you to go to college or even high school to become an educated individual. An infinite and ever-expanding pool of information is now at your fingertips. You can become an expert at anything faster and better than ever, so there is no excuse. But the key to mastering this skill is to merge your amusement with learning. Once you enjoy learning, it will be very hard to stop. You will end up learning things automatically without even trying. Number 4. Force yourself to be responsible. In the book Boys Adrift, Leonard Sachs explains that boys need not want to be responsible. This means if they are not needed, they don't ever reach their potential. They step down when they are not required, which keeps them irresponsible. Especially nowadays, hearing society's message that men are no longer required, many men listen to this and are staying in their parents' basements doing nothing. Most men never go out of their way to take on challenges and responsibilities. But it is the exact thing they should be doing to become a man of competence. The longer a man avoids responsibility, the longer it will take him to reach adulthood. As a man's adulthood is not only a matter of age, but a matter of actions and characteristics. So do not be fooled. Your teens and 20s means nothing but your journey to becoming a man. It will take years, so remember, the sooner you become responsible, the faster this can happen. Now, if you understand these 4 habits, half of your journey is now complete. The other half depends on you applying them to your life accordingly. But the hard truth is that most men taking this information in will not make the required change. They might even pretend to, just to reinforce their ego. This is the reality. There will always be weak and strong men. One man will always be willing to level up, while the other man will give up for a dopamine hit. So if you want to accelerate growth, simply throw away anything holding you back and grab anything that will level you up. If you found this valuable, show some love. Until next time, brothers.